Welcome back to Pro Paper Plays. Today we are continuing Katawa Shoujo. Yeah, it's been a while since I recorded a video at finals and everything. But now, we're back. So yeah, in the last part of Katawa Shoujo, basically, Hisa was challenged to race against Emi, and then basically bro almost had a heart attack. And yeah, now Emi's like, damn it man, I feel bad, I'm sorry. My bad. So apparently she's gonna take us to the rooftop for like some kind of lunch date to make it up to us. So I look forward to seeing what she does. So I fell asleep. For how long? What time is it? What planet am I on? I'm feeling a little lightheaded and I keep blinking compulsively. Pushing the curtain aside, I squint my eyes against the unfiltered light pouring in from the window. The texture of the canvas feels nothing like the wind did before. The nurse wakes up from his work, sitting exactly where he was before.
Hello there.
There he is. How are you feeling? I can't really tell, so I don't answer anything. Feeling kind of groggy from falling asleep at such a weird time. Hope I don't look too weird. What time is it? Me croaking a question to gain some orientation. The nurse looks at his wristwatch before answering. Oh, wait, things seem to happen in slow motion. 10:15. Try to think for a moment what that means, but I'm not really sure. 10:15, that's like 10:25 if I'm not mistaken. Well, I guess it's a quarter of 60, so what is that? I have no clue. I can't do math. You didn't answer my question, Esau. Oh, fine. Climb down from that bed, and let's see how you are doing. Don't. Oh! I tried to do exactly that. Only just wait dizzily when I move too fast. I get up, I'm like, ah, the voices. Alright, the nurse moves to try and support me by an arm. It sighs. Stand up too quickly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Just sit there. I'll check your pressure to make sure. My good intentions sure lasted for a long time. I shut up, embarrassed with myself, while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption at my arm. After a couple of minutes, he puts it away, looking neither pleased nor unhappy. You're alright. Head stop spinning? Yeah. Good. Now what are the contents doing? You didn't show very good judgment out there, you saw. Must have been a lack of judgment. Swallowed the retort I was going to make. It's what I was thinking myself, but hearing it stated by somebody else makes me want to protest. What he's saying is not pleasant to hear. Doesn't make him any less right, though. No, sir. He nods, still looking as neutral as he was before. It would be easy to be angry at him if he said, "Huh, told you so," or something, but he doesn't. I can try and help you to keep your health, but ultimately the last call lies with you. Hopefully this little episode will be something that'll remind you of that. Here, a note for your teacher, to avoid an interrogation. Hey Sal, why were you not in class, huh? You failed. Get out. Alright, take the slip of paper he's offering, and to make my leave as I can't think of anything else to say. Nor even really want to. Stay out of trouble, you hear me? I don't think it was anything but a scare, but next time could be different. I hear ya. There is some way to get to the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly get lost, so I go out from the exit that I know works. Stop at the stairs of the auxiliary building. Deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms to get my books and stuff and going straight away to class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head towards the dorms. There we are. The halls are quiet as the courtyard was. Naturally so, since everyone is in class. I knock lightly at the door of 3-3 and push open the door when Mutou calls from the other side. Sorry I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn toward me. Every time that door opens, everyone looks at you. Good morning, that guy. But Joe seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming in late, as if I interrupted this flow or something. Judging from the rambling lectures his classes tend to be, that might be the case. My bad, Professor. I pass him the note the nurse gave me. Mutou takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrows and gives me a kind of stern look, but doesn't say anything. Just nods solemnly again. I shrug and he gestures at me to run along as I naturally do. Class goes on wheezily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overly attentive. The first days I was pretty high-strung in class. Mutou finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday, please keep the meaning of the festival in your minds. My voice cracked. Games and fried food! Wahaha! Everyone burst out in laughter, and so do I. Yes, thank you, Mikado. But when I met more... The remainder of his sentence is buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells. Everyone starts packing their things. Mutou deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. It's like, the bell does not dismiss you. I do. I was waiting for that. Alright, it's crowded in the hallway. Or as crowded as hallways in this school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Normally I join the flow and grab lunch myself, but today is different. Yeah, I've been invited to lunch on the roof by Emmy. An odd location, but that's where I was told to go. Fortunately, I managed to find shelter from the storm in the D of the classroom door. Eventually, the torrent subsides, and I step tentatively out into the hallway. Only to be met by Emmy, who comes flouncing down the hallway like a cannonball.
Hey,
Boom.
hey!
Hey, hi Hisao, great timing. I have super extra lunch today, as promised. Let's go upstairs. Stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated. That's a weird word, I've never seen that before. But it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with a missing padlock. Wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Maybe shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Nope. Hello. Suddenly a tall stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling down the stairs. Wait a minute, is that Rin? I feel like it is. Oh, Emmy's like, eek! The stranger was like, hello. Yipes! Yeah, you scared me, Rin. I was right. Wait, isn't she... Hello. Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me. You two know each other? Look confusedly at Emmy. She's that your friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. The awkward silence lasts for only a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. I invited Hisao for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch, but without the lunch? Luncheon. Neither. I have food for 3. Nice thinking. I walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else but us here. Guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered across the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. Small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it just kind of looks like TV static almost. Like the more I look at it, actually looks like static. I peek through the chain link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolis seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's only going to be mine for one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly. I haven't had time to think about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to open... When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear, cerulean sky. I hope I said that word right. A cold breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers. Not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. Oh yes, the smell of gas. Eddie settles on a bench with Rin in tow and produces one big and two small lunchboxes from her bag. Come on, Isao. What are you waiting for? She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. She stood over and was like, oh, now we're closer. I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on it. Impressive view. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Rin, and hands another lunchbox to me. Here you go. Lunch as I promised. Homemade no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks. I make it myself when I can. Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Or yumpers. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening a lunchbox and popping a forkful of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's almost a reminder of the sort of place I'm in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. I mean, it's a good thing, like, I won't look at everybody so weirdly. Yeah. Getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? Definitely the latter, I feel like. I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. This is for your ants. This is for the ancestors. Yeah, you seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man? I nearly choked on my lunch trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech, but baka. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? Everyone's like what? I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Rin seems content to let Emmy answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought we complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another. Complement each other? Like shoes and... like shoes and a suit. Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we got all our limbs, get it? Yeah, I get it. So I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Rin chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of? This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious, makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms. So putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking now. No more commentary for the rest of the video. I just spat when I said that, what the fuck. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. Conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good. She busies herself with cleaning up her lunch. Rin speaks up. I'm thirsty. Hi, Thirsty, I'm Dad.
Back.
Oh, I almost forgot about that. Go, men. With a pour, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. Toss me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of the box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. I don't think either Emmy or Rin are the sort of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. So, Isao, how do you like it up here? It's quite nice, actually. I like high places for the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. Ooh, and for the lunch, too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin. Pleased by my response, I suppose. No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time, too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No, lunch service? Yeah, deal's off. Later. Emmy looks mock offended. Trying to take advantage of my good nature, but baka. Yeah, the nerve. She giggles. Well, if that's your answer, I guess Rin and I will just keep eating lunch alone. I'm suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rendering puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emmy pouts. I was just kidding, man. It's just a prank, bro. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, and the company's okay, too. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay. Seems happy enough I've accepted her invitation. I guess it makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. Yep, we're not that line yet. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're gonna fade away. Mr. Stork, I don't feel so good. Rin shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Alright, come on. We better get going. Three of us head downstairs together. Alright, back to class. The afternoon classes pass. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school. So I head to the library to return a couple of books that I finished reading. Walking inside, I see there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday. All the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. Whoa. So I drop the books I borrow into the return slots in the counter. Hugo suddenly pops up from behind it. Quite throw from the banging noise as they make. Wait, do I have a book? I don't think I do. Wait. Actually, I do. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna move this keyboard. I have the book. It's like... Yeah, I just dropped it on the table. I don't know if you heard that. Wait. It's like, hey, Hugo, I got my books back. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to stop doing that or else my desk is gonna break. Anyway. Anyway, as I drop the books I borrowed into the return slots in the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging they made as they hit the trolley next to her. Oh, sorry, Yuko. I didn't mean to startle you. No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you? It's okay. I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll go grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do. After reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wander down to the fiction section, towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. Oh, as I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it.
Hello there.
Oh, there she is again. Surprisingly, though, she's there. Absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decided against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. After an indiscernible amount of time, basically pursuing the aisles, I finally decided on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With the minimum of fuss, quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. Feeling utterly drained, I headed to my room to read the books I borrowed. There's been enough action and excitement for one day. First is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I know the story, of course, but I've never actually read the original book. It's just as trippy as I remember the story to be, with the wacky characters and nonsense plot. I started thinking of myself as some kind of Alice too, haplessly turning down the rabbit hole into this crippled Wonderland. Okay, that's a rather strong expression. Still, the isolated location and the overt way the school accommodates to absolutely everything is unsettling. It's like another world. I got isekai. This BUN is actually an isekai. Plot twist. Wonder why I can't shake the feeling of being an outsider like Alice, despite most everyone being so hospitable and friendly with me. Turning another page, My mind starts drifting further away from the book. It's quiet. I can hear my heartbeat thumping against the fabric of my shirt. For some reason, it makes me feel really bad like it has... Oh. It makes me feel really bad like it has since that time in the forest with... Oh, Iwanako. You know, I completely forgot about her. Like I was locked in a cage with something nasty and scary. Put the book down for a while and stare at the ceiling, taking my time to shake off the feeling. 200 pages later, I fall asleep. But if you close your eyes... Coffee. Oh, back in class. The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session. Each and every one of them supporting the tired eyes of people who have worked through the night. Though a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break, and then our time is our own. Alright, Mutou lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people here that enjoy their late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrolls some pages. Wait, what? Oh no, he scrolls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks in the position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can be partially attributed to the 2 empty seats behind me. For some reason, Misha and Shizune aren't present. Oh. Fuck! Probably doing work for the festival. Well, council work. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or she is making up for Shizune's lack of voice. Both. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment? I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Mutou approaching my desk. Sure, what's this about? It's probably better we speak outside the classroom. I'm about to lecture you about your grade. I don't want to embarrass you. Something about this doesn't sound too good. But I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Mutou stands in the hallway, scratching his head as he works out what he is trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day. Ah, so it's about that. Well, kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about. Yes it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to prepare you for life here. Part of that involves knowing your limits, and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up about this. Alright, I get it. I'm sorry. Mutou closes his eyes in frustration. I realize this probably wasn't the best thing to say. Something tells me you're not sorry. Pretend as much as you want. But this isn't a normal school. A lot of people have put in time, effort, and money to make sure that you and every other student here can have the same level of education as your peers. I keep voice cracking. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish. I'm not quite sure if this is how he actually feels, or if it's some act that he's practiced so many times to guilt trip students into doing the right thing. Either way, it's working. I understand. This is all new to me, and I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Mutou appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Mutou taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out here who realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far, so I'm trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah, you've got to keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right? Right. I wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week, there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the lay person, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Mutou's serious talk is over and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. Was give me like a... We're trying to get philosophical with me all of a sudden. I think in hindsight that I prefer him this way. Slightly more predictable in this unpredictability. Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's get back inside, shall we? My relief at that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Mutou pauses for a moment. Oh, I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within tells me to shut my mouth and get back into that classroom. Now! Few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they are working on the questions on the board. Yeah, caught. It's like that Twitch emote, scatter. When the streamer's like, oh, guys, I'll be right back. And then, like, everybody's, like, talking about weird shit in the chat. When the streamer's like, oh, I'm back, guys. Scatter. So I don't even bother. Their heads slumped on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it was appear that Mutou doesn't even notice. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got him to there. The class returns to the near silence that Mutou and I left it in before our chat. Okay, yeah, so yeah, it's still silent as usual. The bell finally rings out. Oh, before you all leave, I expect the answers to those problems by Monday. Class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blink as everyone rushes to their last-minute festival prep. I stay behind and try to finish the question so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend with the festival and all tomorrow. Oh, hello. What's up, Hanako? Aside from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to her classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least nominally harder for her than it is Hanako. But it's none of my business. I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither of us try to start up a conversation about that or anything else. So an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn pages of my notebook. Hanako turns pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil lead splinters against the paper, just when I was about to finish a paragraph. The sound of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. I got that negative aura. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway.
Hi, how are you?
Hanako. Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump from her desk and run to Lily. Talk quietly for a moment, but it doesn't long for Lily weaves down the hall and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. Watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. Boredom evidently becomes too much for her, though. She went to frame, reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, this isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. After about 10 minutes of restlessly shuffling in her seat and trying to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. As should I, since the assignment is all but finished. There's nothing else for me now. Oh, yep, she said it too. School's a beehive of activity, but nobody pays me any heed. Saunter past classrooms filled with students frantically doing this and that, buzzing around like little worker bees. You wouldn't guess the school day is over. It's a bit quieter outside, but not by much. People zip by left and right, hurrying as quickly as they can, busy and energetic. I feel the opposite. The midday sun seems to be draining all the spirit out of my body, making it feel limp all over. Warm, soft air flows inside my shirt, feeling like a cushion. I yawn lazily, thinking about what I do. I can't yawn. At least not on command. I'll drop off my books at the dorms first, and then something I haven't decided yet. Maybe Kenji's in his room. Oh god. Keep me away from him. On the way to the dorms, I spot Emmy coming my way, running despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. I wave at her and she skids to a stop. Hello there. Yo, Hisao. Spiders of white and green paint adorn her nose and chin respectively, but her smile is white as it seems it always is. She leans closer to me, amplifying the feeling she is examining me. What you doing? Nothing really. I don't have anything to do for the festival. Everyone else seems to be doing something really important. That's perfect. Then you can help me and Rin. With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I'd be much help. That's fine. I'm not much help either. You're just like me for real, for real. Emmy grabs my wrist and starts dragging me back inside the school quite forcefully. Yeah, you didn't have a choice, you thought. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself simply trying to keep up. Stairs slow Emmy down a little bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with her legs. Maybe she's probably run out of breath. We go all the way back to the 3rd floor into the seniors hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could have basically just stayed here waiting for Emmy if I had known. So are you, is Rin still working on that mural? That's right. She needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff, so I went to get them from the art classroom. And you need me to help with that. Well, Rin told me you had already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. Thanks to Emmy's flaky logic, here I am, collecting stuff from the art room classroom for other people. The room is empty apart from ourselves, and only specks of dust floating in the air. Emmy skips straight away to the back wall, digging out a tiny crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. Always tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting. I take a closer look at the materials lying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelves in a most unorganized fashion. Some look like they've been there for basically several decades, relics of previous art club generations. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing paper are boxes full of different sized brushes and unsorted crayons. Smells of paint, turpentine, and fresh paper float in the stale air, mixing my nostrils to form that unmistakable scent of art. Emmy studies her notes, comparing them to the markings on the various paint cans, passes them to me as she finds the correct matches. She stretches her neck to look on the topmost shelf, but it's not quite enough. Her eye level stays below the shelf no matter what she does. Emmy just gives up. Emmy just gives up and looks at the shelf longingly, like a child at a toy store, huffing in annoyance. I'm too short for this shit. The moment of building air, she starts jumping up and down, apparently trying to speed read the labels during the fraction of a second she can see them and catch what she can. It's no surprise she fails miserably. Oh god, and almost manages to bring the entire shelf down. Oh god. Now I see why I had to lend a hand. Come on, let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself. Also, I'm like twice your height. You are not. She turns around, flaring scorn, flushed cheeks and all. Just kidding. Anyway, I'll look up there, okay? She glares at me one more time, but I can't come up with a retort. With a grudging, "Humph," turns her back to me. So I begin scrounging around the top shelf for paint, while below, Emmy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little. They're double checking to ensure she can't see me do so. Emmy having a complex about her height was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. Seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has their weak spot. Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on the desk like a treasure hunter spoils, do I realize it wasn't necessarily the height jab that got to her. She might not like to be told she can't do something, like jump. But Emmy herself seems to have forgotten about it. Quick to anger, quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? You know, I kind of am like that, actually. Like, I might get mad at you if you say something, like, kind of snarky, but then I'm like, you know, whatever. In the end, it actually was kind of funny. At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart. She chatters away happily while we pick up the rest of the items, and we make our way back to Rin. I chivalrously carry the bulk of materials as we make our way to the dormitories. Rin is really stressed about getting her painting done. It's her own fault, though. She should have started earlier. Is she going to make it? No idea. It looks good to me, but with Rin, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning lying in front of the dorm in fetal position. Wait, she hasn't slept all night. Can't believe that the nurses hadn't found her. And now she's painting again like crazy. Yeah, I noticed she comes off as kinda unhinged, so to speak. Let me giggles at that. So is my likely too obvious awkwardness. I don't mind it. She's just a little weird sometimes. On that I can agree with her. Unlike me, Emmy seems to be cool with Rin's whatever it is that feels so off about her. Still, they don't feel close like Misha and Shizune do. Them working as a single entity sometimes. It's hard to say where one ends and the other begins. Even though they're so different, just like Emmy and Rin are. And Rin is the most different of them all. Different from anyone else I've met. Yeah, I guess he's a very unique person. I've turned to that word again. As if it encompasses Rin's personality by itself. But really it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Emmy giggles as I grasp out for a properly descriptive word. She's just weird. You know, earlier she spent half an hour just sitting on the box. and stared at her toes. She goes on in a way that makes me think she doesn't know what's funny about it. It just is. All that time. The working area is a mess, but the mural itself has taken over even more of the wall since I last saw it. The disfigured human figures have been mostly colored in tones of red, pink, and orange. Weird, imaginary things populating the spaces in between. Looks nice. Can't think of any word that would describe the work concisely and comprehensively, so I just settled myself on a nondescript nice. But honestly, it seems like the area around the wall becomes untidier at the same rate as the mural progresses. The ground is littered with dozens of paint cans, various art supplies, and empty soda bottles. Rin herself was in the center of this chaos, standing there looking very cozy as if she was a natural part of the scene. Her pant legs have been rolled up to her knees, exposing her thin legs which sported a drying spectrum of war paintings, similar to those on Emmy's face. Emmy sprints to Rin ahead of me and gleefully jumps in front of her. I'm back! That was fast. Did you run in the corridors again? Hisao helped me. Emmy points victoriously at me. Rin turns around following Emmy's finger with her eyes, looking at my general direction. She nods absent-mindedly at me. She looks like she hasn't slept since last night. A vacant, glazed stare that's focused slightly off me, and movements like in a slow-motion movie. Hello, Hisao. Thank you for the help. Don't mention it. I just did. Ow. Oh god, that made me choke. Looks like you made progress. Looking good as far as I can tell. But now you get more bad luck. Oh yeah. Yeah, never judge an artwork before it's done. I think that's what Rin said. Or else you get like, what, 7 years of bad luck? Something like that. I know. I'm willing to take the risk though. That's a very nice thing to say. For me, of course. Not for you. This is why artists are always unlucky. They have to constantly look at their unfinished paintings. So artists can't find romance, their favorite TV shows are cancelled, or they die young because of an unspecified disease. It's a deep and mysterious law of the universe. Unless they are blind. She considers this for a while, looking like she's going to fall asleep. There is a boy. At the art club, you see. Blind boy. So he doesn't see. He already told me. I glance sideways at Emmy and she glances back in a way that tells she heard this one before too. I'm almost convinced it's Kenji, like, the dude can't see. He kind of goes on these rambles, so I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if he was painting or something. Even if he can't see. I don't know. He kind of just gives me that vibe now. Neither of us say anything to Rin, so she continues her monotone soliloquy like an unfunny stand-up comedian. He should become an artist. No bad luck, guaranteed. Don't you think that would be a good idea? Nah, only blind people should become artists? No, not as such. Da-da-da. You might have a point. Abandoning this train of thought, she turns again to consider her work and starts humming a tune that I think I recognize, but can't remember the name of. Emmy arranges the supplies we brought and moves a few paint cans around, trying to bring some organization to the scene. Emmy, I need the Prussian blue paint. Which one's Prussian blue? She's staring helplessly at 7 or 8 cans, each with a different tone of blue. It's the one with the Prussian blue paint. Yep. Thanks for the explanation, Rin. Jeez, Rin, you're not helping at all. Look around as well, even though I don't know what Prussian blue looks like either. I wonder what blue has to do with Prussia. Or what Prussia even is. Name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't place it. Oh, none of the blues look more Prussian than the others. Small print on the labels is legible enough to determine that none say anything about the contents being Prussian. There is no Prussian blue here. We need to go get more then. I opened my mouth to say that actually we're both not needed for such a simple task like finding another pot of Prussian blue. But Emmy's already grabbed my arm and started dragging me off. Wave to Rin, who doesn't seem to have noticed that the two of us are even leaving. Well, she'll notice when she goes for a Prussian blue and finds out it's still not there. Maybe. Da-da-da. Probably not, actually. Well, I'm busy thinking about how weird Rin is. Emmy's been dragging me back to the art classroom. I feel myself starting to run out of breath. What's the rush? Huh? Emmy's giving me an appraising look, as if she's trying to figure something out. It's just that you seem to be in a hurry. I'm not sure I can keep up. Comprehension dawned on her face. You're not out of breath, are you? There's almost an accusing playfulness to her tone. I'm tempted to deny it, but I realize I've been breathing heavily since we stopped. I guess it's kind of obvious. A little. Not everybody can be in shape, you know. Takes all kinds, right? Emmy frowns. It's not a particularly good frown. That is... I should get in shape. Not that I hadn't already decided to try for that. After that putter on the track, I figured there's a real need to get in some sort of running habit. I was, after all, feeling pretty good until I had my false alarm. Well, actually I wasn't, but it was fun. Meanwhile, my comment seems to have helped Emmy come to a sort of decision. Well, that's it then. She gives me a serious look. You're joining me. I beg your pardon? In the mornings. You and I are now running partners. I've got a routine all planned out. In fact, she produces a crumpled sheet of paper. I've got it right here with me. Take the sheet of paper and give it a once over. Times, dates, and laps all laid out. So it'll increase from just a few laps a day to... my god, does she expect me to have it, like, run marathons? Bruh. I ain't built like that. And where did she find the time to get all this together? And how long has she been planning this anyway? You've been planning this? A little. But it's really the nurse's idea. He told me to keep an eye on you and make sure you exercise like he told you to. A vast conspiracy. Maybe Kenji's onto something here. The feminist conspiracy. Anyway, it seems a bit much for just keeping an eye on me. Well, to be honest, I've been trying to find a running partner in the mornings for a while now. My god, Kenji. If only you could see the scheme unfolding. What do you need a partner for anyway? It's easier to keep a workout going if you're not the only one doing it. You know, that's kind of true. Isn't that obvious? You're less likely to quit if someone else is counting on you to be there, right? I see. And this won't only keep you running, but it'll make sure that I keep running as well. Meaning I'll be obeying the nurse. And I'll be keeping an eye on you, just like he asked. You've gone on quick, Hisao. And if I refuse? I have no intention of refusing, of course. I'd always put up a token of resistance, such a masterfully executed plan. Well, if you refused, I'd have to pout. And you'd have to live with the guy or you'd have to live with being the guy who made Emi Ibarozaki pout. You don't want that on your conscience, do you? As if to demonstrate, Emi begins pouting. The most adorable, heart-wrenching thing I've ever seen. Okay, I'll do it. Just don't do that, please. I feel like I just hit a puppy. So it's settled, right? You're going to be my running partner? Follow the workout? And a dietary plan? Dietary plan? Damn, bro. I didn't think it would be that strict. Yeah, the dietary plan. You've got to eat healthy if you're going to get in shape, you know? I examined the workout routine closely. I don't see a dietary plan on here. It's in the works. Oh, right. I forgot to give that to you. Okay, another crumpled sheet of paper is produced and handed over. Somewhat less detailed. I had the nurse help me come up with it. The amount of dedication that the nurse has to keep me in good health is pretty overwhelming. I don't know how many school nurses would get out of their students or get one of their students to spy on me, much less come up with a dietary plan. Then again, I guess I'm not in a normal school. Maybe that's not such a bad thing. And again, this dietary plan seems to cut out just about everything I'll have offered at the festival. Man. So when does our running start? After the festival. Oh, right after? What if I had something to eat there? I could get a stomachache, you know. I meant the day after the festival. I knew that. Wasn't there something we were supposed to be doing? Oh, I guess we should be getting that paint for Rin, huh? Oh no, it slipped my mind. My bad. By the time we get the paint and back to the mural, Rin's already wandered off. Oh well. Amy and I both decide to part ways there, leaving the paint on the ground. Rin will find it whenever she comes back. Surely. Festival's tomorrow. I'm actually a little excited for it. At the same time, the week's left me feeling pretty tired, so I read a little and then go to bed. Sleeping. I think I always have to do that every time I like place the tune. I don't know why. Alright. I'll end this part here too. So yeah, the next time we play Katawa Shoujo again, we're going to the school festival. I actually look forward to seeing what we actually go through. So yeah. It was kinda nice though, like seeing the whole like lunch scene with Emmy, and I guess also Rin, because he also came over. And learning more about the dynamic of these two. It's kind of interesting, like how how the other characters end up being connected. Like, you know, like of course Misha and Shizune, and then you have like Rin and Emmy, and apparently you also have Hanako and Lily. So it's kind of cool, like just to see how everyone's connected. Like the dynamic friendships you have as well. So it'll be interesting to see, like it'd be kind of like cool if we saw more friendships develop as well. Like, even if it's between like all those people. But like, you know, different pairs. Like for example, I don't know, like Lily and maybe Emmy. That could be an interesting one. Yeah. We will see what happens from here on out. So hopefully you all enjoyed this part of Katawa Shoujo. In the top right corner of your screen, an info card should take you to the next part once it becomes available. And with that, I'll see you all in the next one. Alright. Peace.